George Moore and Paul B. Kidd on 2UE for Harvey Norman Mega Flooring. Carpet, timber, rugs? Tell them Jerry sent you. George Moore and Paul B. Kidd on 2UE for Harvey Norman Mega Flooring. Carpets, timber, rugs? Tell them Jerry sent you. John Stanley is on 2UE. You know, it's not too heavy. It's just good fun. With a great mix of news, fun, and special guests. John Stanley, he always keeps you entertained. John Stanley, always there for you each weekday afternoon from noon. John Stanley, always there for you weekday afternoons from noon. That work? And from noon, people stop to listen. They pull their cars over to the side of the road. Who cares if it's in a no-standing area? And they've run over the copper's foot. They still pull over because Stanley is on the job. The best afternoon entertainment. Afternoons with John Stanley. He'll really give you a lift. If not, he'll kick you in the arse and then you'll have a lift. If you're thinking of turning the radio off, don't. Don't bloody well do it. The job that everyone loves. Join the in-crowd who listen. And the out-crowd who couldn't give two beats of a bat's ass. Switch to John Stanley. You'd hear the best afternoon entertainment. John Stanley. Who in the bloody hell's John Stanley?
Well, I don't know. You're telling the story.
John Stanley, Mrs. Stanley's little son. Spread the word. Spread Vegemite. Spread yourself around. Become a real root rabbit. That one. John Stanley in the afternoon is American, proven to help build energy. And you're going to have your say. That's all you're fucking going to get. He's never boring. The John Stanley Show. John Stanley, weekday afternoons from noon on 2UE. Shouting it from the rooftops. Shout from the rooftops. Start spreading the news. Start spreading the news. Start spreading the news. We're leaving today. He's spreading the news. Hey, sometimes he even spreads legs on frogs when he's eating them. This morning from 9 on 2UE with John Laws. This morning from 9 on 2UE with John Laws. John Laws this morning from 9 on 2UE. This morning from 9 on 2UE with John Laws. This morning from 9 on 2UE with John Laws. John Laws this morning from 9 on 2UE. 2UE Newsflash. 2UE's new... 2UE Newsflash. 2UE Newsflash. 2UE Newsflash. 2UE Newsflash. 2UE News Update. 2UE News Update. 2UE News is immediate, trustworthy, independent, unbiased, experienced. With the largest radio newsroom in Australia. 2UE News is unmatched. 2UE keeps you informed and entertained with Mike Carlton at breakfast, weekdays from 5:30 till 9 a.m. 2UE keeps you informed and entertained with John Laws in the morning, weekdays from 9 till noon. 2UE keeps you informed and entertained with John Stanley, afternoons, weekdays from noon till 3. 2UE keeps you informed and entertained with John Stanley, afternoons, weekdays from noon till 3. 2UE keeps you informed and entertained with Steve Price at Drive, weekdays from 3 till 6 p.m. 2UE keeps you informed and entertained with Sydney Radio's only daily sports show, Sports Today, weekdays from 6. Loving every minute on Sydney's 2UE. Loving every minute on Sydney's 2UE. Loving every minute on Sydney's 2UE. With George and Paul on the weekend. Okay? Loving every minute on Sydney's 2UE. 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 A variations, do you think? With George and Paul on the weekend. With George and Paul on the weekend. With Glenn Wheeler on the weekend. With Glenn Wheeler on the weekend. With Glenn Wheeler on the weekend. With Mike Williams on the weekend. With Mike Williams on the weekend. With John Kerr on the weekend. With John Kerr on the weekend. With Glenn Wheeler at night. With Glenn Wheeler at night. Stan taking a holiday, is he? Poor bugger, I must give him a call. Here we go, breakfast. News and information with Smile. News and information with Smile. Breakfast with Mike and Fitz on 2UE. What does it mean? I think now it's their thing. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think we'll do with this? Sarah the Smile. What do you reckon? It'll do.
News and information with Smile. News and information with Smile. Breakfast with Mike and Fitz on 2UE. Breakfast with Mike and Fitz on 2UE. There's enough in there. Stuart Bocking gives you the chance to win an AAT King 17-day fully escorted New Zealand holiday for two, including airfares. Every night, Stuart will play a song like this. The first listener to call with the next part of the lyrics will go into the draw for the major prize. No, you don't have to sing it. No, you don't have to sing it. You bloody dipstick. Stay listening to Stuart Bocking from midnight till dawn all next week for the cue to call on 2UE. Listen to Stuart Bocking from midnight till dawn all next week for the cue to call on 2UE. Listen all this week to Stuart Bocking. Listen to Stuart Bocking from midnight till dawn all this week for the cue to call on 2UE. What else do you do? I'll do the top just again. Stuart Bocking gives you the chance to win an AAT King 17-day fully escorted New Zealand holiday for two, including airfares. Every weeknight, I'm going to play a shitty song like this. And if you're the dopey dick stick to call with the next part of the lyrics, then you must really be on drugs. Now on 2UE, the Time Pips, proudly brought to you by Orange Mobile. And now on 2UE, another stumble from John Stanley, brought to you by Harvey Grump and Stumblebum. Coming up tonight on Sports Today. That's tonight on 2UE. That's Sports Today tonight on 2UE at 6. Oh, yeah. That's tonight on Sports Today. That's tonight on Sports Today. That's tonight on Sports Today 6 to 8 on 2UE. Sports Today, tonight at 6 on 2UE. Now, all the latest news from Australia and around the world in Sports Today for Bingley Electrical Stores and Bundaberg Rum. And now, all the latest news in Sports Today with Peter Bosley and Greg Radley for And now back to New Day Australia. And now, a word or two from the John Stanley Show on 2UE. Now on 2UE, a word or two. Now on 2UE, a word or two from John Stanley. Yeah. And now, a word or two from the John Stanley Show on 2UE. And now, a word or two from the John Stanley Show on 2UE. And now, a word or two from the John Stanley Show on 2UE. Words worth listening to. fuck, suck, lick and bite. John Stanley, weekday afternoons from noon on 2UE. Words worth listening to.
Wordsworth.
Words worth listening to. John Stanley, weekday afternoons from noon on 2UE. On 2UE Sydney weather for Lysart Home Improvements. Visit the showrooms at Narellan or Minchinbury today. Should be showrooms or showroom. Yeah. On 2UE Sydney weather for Lysart Home Improvements. Visit the showrooms at Narellan or Minchinbury today. On 2UE Sydney weather for Lysart Home... On 2UE Sydney weather for Lysart Home Improvements. Visit the showroom at Narellan or Minchinbury today. Now on 2UE 954. Fun at night with Stan Zemanek. Now on 2UE back to Stan Zemanek, taking you through till midnight. Yeah, all right. Tell me when you're rolling there, Danny boy. Now on 2UE 954, Fun at Night with Stan Zemanek. Now on 2UE 954, Fun at Night with Stan Zemanek. Did you find the music, did you? Yeah. Here we go. Now on 2UE back to Stan Zemanek, taking you through until midnight. Now on 2UE 954 and across Australia, Fun at Midnight with Stan Zemanek. Fun at Midnight. we haven't even started the show and you fucking finished it.
Well, that's all he's fucking gonna get, an intro.
Now on 2UE 954 and stations across Australia, Fun at Night with Stan Zemanek. There's no limit as we make sure you don't miss a thing. 2UE with Brian Bury Afternoons. Radio, the most immediate form of communication in the world. Talk radio, streaming news, current affairs and comment. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. 2UE, the most influential talk station for 81 years. Winner of countless awards in Australia and internationally. And again in 2006, 2UE is nominated for Best Talk Presenters, Best News Presenters, Best Station Production, and Best Engineers. Sydney's Best Broadcasters, Australia's Best News Service. Only one station, only one frequency, only 2UE 954.